Hello, this is John Osa at Irrigation Essentials, and welcome to this short video on irrigation controller terminology. Now this is going to be easy and short, but stick with me. It's a few minutes long. It's not the sexiest topic in the world, but it will help you, it'll help clarify programming and getting the most out of your irrigation controller so that you can save money on water, get your landscape to look better, and do the right thing by the environment. So let's get started here. There's three terms I want to talk about together. And they're often used interchangeably, which leads to some confusion. Station is the first term. Now, it's a term used by the controller to indicate which valve is going to irrigate. It's going to turn on. That's station. Now, valve is a device that's out in the field. It's connected to the controller via wire, but the valve acts much like a switch. When it's on, water flows through, it irrigates. When it's off, it's off. So station is the term used by the controller to address that particular valve, that one valve. Okay? So station, valve, and the next is zone. Zone is the area in the landscape that that particular valve irrigates. So you got it? Now let's put these three terms together. At the program time, you remember this controller is the brains, it sends out a signal. At the program time, the controller station sends a signal through wire to the valve, which opens for water to go through it, and it irrigates a zone in your landscape. That's pretty simple. One more term to kind of pair with that is circuit. You don't hear that as much, but circuit is the irrigation hardware, the pipes, the heads, so forth, that are connected to that valve. That's the word circuit. Sensor. You may open your controller handbook and see, oh, sensor. Now either you bought one or you didn't, but most controllers nowadays have the ability to hook up to what's called a rain sensor, which is an inhibit sensor. If it perceives a prescribed amount of rain, it will stop irrigation. And by the way, I highly recommend that you consider getting one of those, but that's a topic for another day. But that's a sensor. Either you have one or you don't. Most controllers can hook up to them. Now, program. Contemporary controllers like this one has 3 programs. The more the better, frankly. 3 to 4 are adequate for typical residences. A program is a simple set of instructions. And those sets of instructions, they're labeled ABC. A, for example, is a set of instructions for the high water use plants in your landscape. B can be for the medium water use plants in your landscape. And C for your low water use plants in your landscape. That's how you divide up how to allocate water out to your landscape. And that's how you get the most out of this device. So a program is simply a set of instructions. And they're short and simple. There's a couple things every program needs. One is the most obvious. You need to know the day on. Self-explanatory. What day does this turn a particular valve on? So you have to input days on. And high water use input in program A, medium in program B, low in program C. Something that I recommend. Start time. This thing knows when the new day starts. It starts at midnight and searches through for the first valve to come on. You have to input when you want it to come on. That's called a start time. I highly recommend very early in the morning, say 3, 4 a.m., something like that, start time. And then run time. That is the duration of the irrigation. How long do you want that particular valve to run? Okay? Now, there's a term that goes with the runtime that I'll talk about. It's called cycle start. Let me give you an example. You may know that your lawn, that turf, that grass needs 20 minutes. Your experience tells you 20 minutes is what that needs. But you also know that you see some runoff after about 10 minutes. There's no point to continue to irrigate after 10 minutes. Set this valve for 10 minutes and then set a subsequent cycle start approximately an hour later for another 10 minutes. That same valve will come on twice for that total duration of 20. That is a cycle start. That's a very key piece to promoting deep rooting and avoiding runoff. And we'll talk more about those things in the future. But listen, that's it. And we've covered the basics of the essentials of irrigation controller programming. Thanks for hanging in there. Now that you have your controller programmed, what happens? What do? You better leave your controller dial in automatic, or run if you want it to operate. But if it's raining outside or you're confident, very confident it's about to rain, do this. Turn it off. You will not have changed anything here. When it stops raining and the soil begins to dry out, just do that and everything's great. It's back in operation. Okay. Thanks for watching. Please remember to get together with me here the first weekend of the month. I'm going to give you specific information to put into your controller if you're in the Sun Belt states, across the United States, and we will fine-tune your irrigation, make once monthly adjustments up to a peak season use in June and July, and then we'll cut back on the water use as we head towards fall. It's going to help out your landscape, save you some money, and do the right thing by the environment. Thanks for watching.